Yo, what's up guys? So in this video I'm going to teach you one of my favorite card controls. It's one of the oldest ones as well. It's called the Master Move. Also sometimes called the Kelly bottom placement, or sometimes called the Ovette Kelly placement. It goes by a lot of names, but it's just one move, and the reason why it has all these confusing names is because it was actually invented by a guy named Joseph Ovette in 1927, which first appeared in his Treasure Magic catalog. This move was independently created by a guy named Frank Kelly in 1943, which appeared in Tarbell 3 under the title Kelly's Bottom Placement. Since then, there's been so many different variations and handlings and whatnot with this move. Ed Marlowe has some very nice touches on this move as well, which we'll be getting into in this video. And I think I've talked long enough about the move and the history of it, so let's get into it. Okay, so here is what the bottom placement looks like. So we have a card selected, doesn't matter which one it is, so we have that one right there. And I'll go somewhere around the middle of the deck, maybe right around there, somewhere around the middle. And the reason why it's called the bottom placement is because it's a bottom control to the bottom of the deck. So that was the basic handling, which I will show you right now. So what's happening is essentially you're just putting the card on the bottom while pretending to place the packet on top. And it looks like this. This is just an exposed view of what's really happening. So you're like this, and you just move your fingers out of the way to get that card on the bottom of the deck. That bottom card of this packet is just being loosened like this, so we can ride on the bottom of the deck as you bring this packet in. So a little bit more detail on that. You can arrive at this position any way you'd like to. You can do swing cuts, have them say stop. You can riffle, have them say stop. You can do a dribble like this. Any way you want to get into this position is fine, okay? So what happens now is that you're going to use the pad of your ring finger. Some people say to use all your fingers like this, but I find that just looks kind of weird, and you're just, you're really handling the deck with all of it. It just looks weird. And so a more natural way to do that is just by using one finger, just the pad of your ring finger here. Like I said, normally the books teach you to do this with all of your fingers, and all you're doing here is contacting that bottom card with the pads of your fingers and scooting it to the side. And what helps do that is the fact that your thumb is lifting up the packet. So imagine you're just doing this with the exception of one card. All right, and the reason why that's happening is because your fingers are making sure that card stays in place as you lift that packet up with your thumb, just like this. And that's really all there is to it. Just scoot the card to the side like this as you lift your thumb up. But like I said, doing it with all your fingers looks kind of weird. So at first, I would advise practicing it that way, just so you can get a feel of how it should be done. But once you get good at doing that, just practice using only one finger, your ring finger, like I said. And the way that would look is like this. So you have the card chosen like this, and you just contact the card with only your ring finger like this. And that way it looks a lot more natural. I just did it, see? From this side, you can see what's happening there. I just contact the card with my ring finger, just like this, and this position looks a lot more natural, than doing something like this. I've always found that looks weird, and I never liked it. So Ed Marlowe calls this handling the no clutch bottom placement out of the book Card Fitness. Okay, so once you get good at doing this move here, then we can move on to the next step. So once that card is loosened, all you're going to do is sort of pinch the corner of that packet like this between the base of your index finger and your thumb, sort of like you're in the position for a swing cut like this. It's that same sort of that pinching motion. Okay, so you're here like this. You loosen the card. You're in that pinch grip like a swing cut, and that card just slides in. Okay, these fingers sort of move out of the way. Not extreme, you don't be crazy with it. And don't flash your fingers like this. Just move them out of the way just enough so that card can slide in under the deck, just like this as it goes in, just like that, and square everything up. And that is essentially the bottom placement. A tip that I have for you when you're doing this is don't do it immediately like this, because that's kind of bad and it can be seen, right? So wait until you're here and then do the move, right? When you're about to square up, you're in motion anyway. So if you do this, That looks kind of bad, so wait until you're about here and then do the move, right? So it looks like you're squaring the deck anyway, so why not just act like you're squaring the deck when you're about here and do the move. So you're really doing the move right at when you need to, rather than way up here and then, you know, being vulnerable, flashing from every direction until you get there. So why not just do the move, boom, right there? And it saves a lot of time, and it saves you from flashing, and I think it's better that way, in my opinion. Here's a really nice handling that comes from Ed Marlowe, and it looks like nothing happens. It looks like an impossible thing. All right, so I'll just do the move real quick. So we have the card selected. In this case, we have the 2 of clubs, and that's about, I'd say, halfway up, but it's really already on bottom. And then I think that the slapping motion really cancels out the move. All right, so what's happening here is that you do everything like normal up to about here. All right, so what's going to happen is that you, as soon as you place it under, immediately lift up this packet. Under the cover of this packet, they won't see that. So what you're going to do is, as soon as that's there, just raise this up and use your index finger to push it in. All right, so once again, you're here, you've done the move, and then with this packet, just gesture. So that's about halfway down, wouldn't you say? And then just slap it on top. And that cancels out, especially for magicians, that you're doing the bottom placement because it's already on bottom. So here's a really interesting approach by Ken Krenzel that uses the tables, so it's a tabled Kelly bottom placement. Okay, so we have the card selected, and then maybe that one right there, remember that card, and it goes right around there into the middle of the deck. We can square it up, and with no moves, it's already on the bottom of the deck. Okay, so for this, it's best to pre-bend the deck, all right? So you want to get a good bend in that deck. I mean, nothing major, but a good way to do that is just to do a face-up cascade like this, and that'll be enough. All right, so what you're going to do is dribble on the table, and I like to sort of dribble backwards a little bit. That way I get a few loose single cards there at first. All right, so you're like this, and you show them the card. And like I said, you come down, as soon as you're about right here, you do the move, right? See, you do the move, and you just scoop that, this is exposed view, underneath the cards, just like this. That's why the upward bend was important. All right, so now you take this thumb and just scoot these upward, and everything will become square, and you can square the deck like this, and now it's on the bottom of the deck. But look how beautiful that is. Once again, exposed view, you're here, show them the card, wait till you're about here, do the move, boom, take this thumb, square up everything like this, and now you're here, square those up on the corners, and that's the tabled Kelly placement. Pretty good in my opinion. Alright guys, so as always, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. It means the world to me, and if you got value out of it, if you learned something new, do me a huge favor and hit that like button and sub to the channel. Until next time, happy practicing. I love you guys.